Hey, everybody on Pivot Shift Ahead, it's James Shaw, and I'm so excited to be with you. And this is what we're doing now. We're doing these pivot conversations with agents who are absolutely knocking it out of the park. And I got to tell you, we're going to talk to somebody who is. Hi, Emily from Nashville, Tennessee. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Well, first of all, you are absolutely killing it. Tell everybody a little bit about you, where you're from, what you do, and then we'll dive into the conversation.
Yeah, so I am 25 years old. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I graduated college with a finance degree back in 2018. I moved to Nashville, a brand new city, after I got married in June of 2018. Got my real estate license in August of 2018, and I just hit the ground running. In my first year in 2019, I sold 36 homes that year. And then in 2020, so far since January 1st, I've sold 70 homes and I'm on track to sell 100. And I love for sale by owners.
This is amazing. So first of all, 36 is an amazing first year. And then now you're at 70, you're going to get to 100, maybe even more than that. I mean, that's an amazing career for some agents. So you've absolutely nailed it in a town where you didn't know anybody. So is that part of the reason why you looked at for sale by owners as one of the main strategies for you?
Yes, absolutely. I moved here. I pretty much just knew my husband, and I knew that I had goals of selling a bunch of homes in my first year, but I didn't know anybody. So I had to get creative, and I figured for sale by owners were the best way to do that. They were literally raising their hand saying that they wanted to sell their home, and I just had to find out a way to convince them to use me.
Yeah. Now, and of course, not all the homes you sell are FSBOs. You've got other business as well. What percentage of your business is a for sale by owner?
Yeah, about 65% right now. 50 of those 70 this year have been for sale by owners. I also do a lot of circle prospecting. I'll do door knocking. And now I'm starting to get that repeat and referral business as well.
Already. Yeah, that's amazing. So a lot of people will say, and we talked about this a little bit, a lot of people will say, I don't want to call for sale by owners. I don't like the rejection. I don't want to call people I don't know. I don't want to do any of that. Tell me a little bit about your thought process around that. What would you tell somebody that thinks, gosh, I don't want to deal with all that stuff?
Yeah, well, regardless, I mean, I think the stat is, I can't remember exactly what the stat is, but I want to say that it's like 80% of for sale by owners are going to list their home within the first 3 weeks of being on the market. So regardless of what your mindset is about for sale by owners, they're either going to list with you or they're going to list with somebody else, 80% of them within the first 3 weeks. So my mindset is, it is, like I said, it's someone who's raising their hand. It can be the fastest, very immediate source of business if you're looking to add business to your pipeline. So I think it's fun. I think it's fun to be able to take someone who maybe hasn't seen the value in hiring a real estate agent and showing them your value proposition and convincing them to list your home with you. It's fun.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's like when you get one and they get excited to work with you, it's like, woohoo. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I called FSBOs too back in the day. So I totally get it. And I want to remind everybody too, and I know you're doing this, Emily, that you're going to, make sure you're following the do not call rules of your market center, that you're paying attention to all that, because we certainly don't want you to get in trouble. And Emily, no doubt you're doing that as well.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit, and here's something too to think about. I believe that success comes to those who become obsessed with being consistent. And when you become obsessed with being consistent, then you start to win. I imagine that that's how you win in the for sale by owner game, is that you're just focused on consistency, right? Being in touch and doing the same thing day in and day out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have anxiety when I do not. I call them Monday through Friday every morning starting at 8 a.m. And if I miss, like right now it's 8:30, I actually hopped on the phone from 7:45 to 8:20. It was calling the for sale by owners, because it gives me more anxiety to miss than to do it. And I'm super, super consistent with follow-up. I can tell you story after story. I had one client who, I don't always get them to commit to an appointment with me on the first conversation. So I had one guy, I sent him videos. Like, we talked on a Monday, I sent him videos Wednesday, Friday, just consistently every 2 days, text, emails, phone calls, videos. And he never responded to any of them. And then one morning he texted me and he said, come list my house. And I picked up the phone and I called him. I said, what? We haven't talked in 2 weeks. And he said, well, I know that if you tried that hard to convince me to work with you, you're going to be working that hard to find a buyer. And that's what I need. And I can tell you story after story after story. One time I called a lady 16 times. I called her every 2 days for like a month, and she never picked up the phone. And then she called me one day and she said, I want you to come list my house. And I said, what? We've never even talked before. And she said, well, you called me 16 times. And at some point I decided to save your number. All the other real estate agents stopped calling me after 4 or 5 times. So I would like you to list my house. So sometimes it's that easy.
It's important that we remember that just because we don't hear them doesn't mean they don't hear us, right, Emily? And when we're checking in and leaving messages, and that's what I did, the same thing. Hey, it's James at Keller Williams. I'm just checking in to see how your home sale's going. If I can help you at all, give me a call. I mean, it was just a simple voicemail like that. And yeah, we'd have those same stories where they'd call and go, okay, yep, that's it. You're the one. Come on over. I love it. Now, we talked a little bit about systems, and you know, you pulled out some stuff from this book right here, which I know has been important to you. In here, Gary talks about the 8x8. We don't really call it that anymore, and yet that system still exists. And you said that's really what you're doing. You're doing kind of an 8x8 campaign, except it's not the traditional one where in the book he talks about 8 contacts over 8 weeks. You've really ramped it up.
Yeah, it's like every 2 days. And I had a guy I met with the other day. I think I set the appointment with him on Monday. We were scheduled to meet on Friday, and I texted him or emailed him or called him every single day up until the appointment. And when we got on the appointment, he said, Emily, I really respect what you've been doing because you understand that there's probably 15 or 20 real estate agents who are calling me every single day. And I'm in sales too, he said, and I know how important it is to stay in front. He said, you knew that I would forget you if you didn't continually touch me over and over and over again. And that's why you and I are meeting together right now. So yeah, to your point, I have an 8x8 that's kind of a sped up 8x8. So it's touching them every day or 2 days, or if it's an appointment that was set on Monday and let's say I'm meeting with them on a Friday, it's every single day. It's not so much what you say, but it's putting yourself out there so that they remember you against all of your other competition.
Yeah, and you're sending little video text messages that are short. You sent me some of those. And I imagine most of that, you just really need to record that one time and then just send it out to them, right? I mean, this is not something you're doing over and over. So part of your system is here's the videos I send and here's the messages I send. It's pretty simple. It's an 8x8. And by the way, people are going to post, can you send me all that? They're going to post that in here. So maybe you could post a couple videos in the comments or something like that. I think that might be great. Okay, what about pushback? Do you get people that say, quit calling me, leave me alone? Because I think some people are going to be concerned about that. How do you handle the person that says, stop calling?
Yeah, I would rather lose business because I did not follow up with someone versus losing business because I followed up too much. So if they tell me to stop calling, then I'll say, hey, I completely understand your frustration. Is it okay if instead of calling you every 2 or 3 days, maybe I'll push it out to a week to 2 weeks? Would that be okay? And usually most people are okay with that.
That's interesting. So you're not, when they say, can you stop calling? You're actually asking for permission just to dial back the amount of communication. You're not just saying, okay, I'll take off my list. Like you're just saying, well, can I check in every couple of weeks?
Yeah, I had that's exactly what I'm doing. And I had a client the other day that texted me and they said, they tried to cancel their appointment with me. And I said, do you mind if I give you a call real quick? And she said, yes. So I called her and I said, okay, now you told me that you're moving to Arizona in 2 months. And so that means we need to have your home under contract within about 2 to 3 weeks from now in order to make that move happen. And with the average days on market in your market being 14, that means we needed to have your home on the market within the next like 5 or 6 days. So it sounds like we really need to meet. And she said, okay, let me get my husband. She put him on speakerphone. She said, please, can you repeat what you just said to me? And he gets on the phone with me and he says, Emily, you've been sending us texts. You've been sending us emails. You've been sending us all these videos. And I already feel emotionally connected to you. And our fear is that if you come over tonight, we're going to list the house with you and we're not ready to do that yet. Well, I said, I completely understand that. And I would not expect you to make a decision unless you felt absolutely comfortable and confident that I was the agent to list your home. And so I'm not going to pressure you, but I would love to come over this evening and keep our appointment. And so sure enough, I did go over there. I did list the property, and we're going live today. So yeah, I do not take no for an answer.
Well, never take a no when a yes is still possible, right? And you are just following up and staying in touch and offering value to them. And ultimately, you're going to help them get their home sold and get them to Arizona. And that is their goal.
Yeah.
So good for you. All right. So let's role play, if you will. Would you be willing to do that? Could we role play maybe an initial conversation to a for sale by owner?
I would absolutely love to.
All right, great. So I'll be the for sale by owner and you be you, and let's make it happen. So ring, ring. Hello.
James, this is Emily Peckham with Keller Williams, another real estate agent calling you. I'm sure you probably heard from a bunch.
I have, and we're good. We're going to sell by owner. That's so nice of you to call, though. Thanks, Emily.
Yeah, James, hey, I get it. You want to sell for sale by owner. That's why you've got your home listed for sale by owner. By the way, it's a beautiful home. Where are y'all moving to?
We're going to stay local. We want to upsize a little bit after all this quarantine. We realized we could use a little bit more space.
Yes, a little bit more separation. Well, hey, a lot of people are feeling the same way as you. I completely understand. James, I try not to sound like all the rest of the real estate agents who are calling you. I just wanted to ask you, if for whatever reason y'all were not able to sell the home on your own, how long might you wait before you'd interview an agent?
I don't know. We're pretty confident we're going to be able to sell it on our own. I don't really see us interviewing any agents.
Gotcha. And hey, you probably can sell the home on your own. Let me ask you, is commission the main reason that you had decided to sell on your own?
I mean, we'd like to save money if we can do it on our own. The market is so hot right now that I think if we could do it on our own and save on the commission, that would be great.
Hey, I get it. The market is hot. And James, I'm all about saving money too. So I completely understand. Let me ask you this. If there was a way that I could show you that I could actually sell the property for you and actually net you more money than you could if you sold it yourself, even after my commission is paid, James, would that be something you'd be interested in just looking at?
I mean, I don't see how that would be possible. If I have to pay you, then I'm out, the money. So I'm not sure how you could do that.
Yeah, James, I completely understand. If you thought that an agent could do that for you, you would probably have already hired one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And yet, if that was possible, wouldn't you at least want to know about it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd want to know about it. I don't see it though. I
completely understand why it would be hard for you to understand how you could actually pay me and actually put more money in your pocket. That's why we should meet. I've got availability, James, this afternoon at 4:30 or 6:30, which is better for you?
I mean, Emily, I think we're good. We're going to try this for a couple of weeks and see what happens. And I think we're good, though. I don't know that we need to get together right now.
Okay. And would you prefer that I to just follow up with you, or?
Well, I mean, you can. I think we can sell it on our own.
Hey, James, the question is not whether or not you can sell the home on your own. You are perfectly capable of selling the home on your own. And James, regardless if we meet, 2 weeks from now, 2 days from now, 2 weeks from now, or even 2 months from now, is it fair to say your primary goal is to net the most money so that you can move on to that next home that you're looking to purchase?
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Absolutely. And that's why we need to meet. Let me sit down with you for just 15, 20 minutes. My presentation is visual. And James, I will show you how I have helped 50 for sale by owners this year net more money, do it in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of hassle. How's 4:30 or would 6:30 be better for you?
I mean, you can come by. We're not going to list, though. You can come by and share your stuff.
Okay, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you at 6:30 this evening.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Emily, nice job. That was great. So is that about how a call would go normally?
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes people are not as, receptive to it, and then I have to go more to the follow-up method. I would say probably 50% of the appointments that I set are on that initial call, though.
Wow. So you have a 50% conversion on the first call. That's unbelievable. So clearly you have practiced and role played your scripts, because what you just gave us was a bold script. I mean, if you go remember classic bold, we used to teach that all the time. So you're script practicing and role playing right now, right?
Yeah, 100%. When I first got into the business too, I used to, I would probably script practice at least an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, every single day. And I practice all of the different objection handlers that I'm going to get during the appointment. I used to walk on the treadmill on my lunch breaks or while I was at the gym and practice scripts then. So yeah, I mean, knowing your scripts and being able to handle those objections is absolutely critical.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you have put in the effort and now you're seeing some reward. That's unbelievable. And I'm really proud of you to hear it, because this is what we've been teaching for years and years and years, and you've actually gone and applied it. I know you've graduated from Bold, and are so engaged in all the opportunities that KW offers, which is just absolutely fantastic. So as we start to wrap up, I'm just curious, what do you think, what's the advice that you want to give to agents right now who, might just be looking to grow and get better? What advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I think really dive into your scripts, know what to say, and be consistent. I had my moments of fear when COVID first started, and I got on the shift call every single day. And I think, what is your line? Get into perspiration. And so I never imagined that this year with COVID, I would sell 100 houses. My husband and I purchased our first home in April. We bought an investment property in July. So if you're looking to grow your business and let's say you're new to a city, or you're an agent who's been an agent for a while and you're just looking to add even more opportunity to your pipeline, for sale by owners are an excellent way to do that. If I can be successful, anybody out there who's willing to put in the work can as well.
Yeah, I mean, the people are saying, listing inventory is tight and the FSBOs are selling. Look, you've listed what, 50 of them this year and sold them? Yep. So the opportunity is absolutely there if you're willing to put in the perspiration. And that's the part that, look, we can't give you that. That's up to you. So I'm curious, has this been a pattern for you where you've always been willing to put in the work? Because you're 25, you're out there crushing it. Is this how you've been your whole life, that when you want something, you go after it?
Yes, I think I wrote in preschool that I was going to go play college soccer, and that's exactly what I did. I used to tell my parents I would door knock for fundraisers and stuff for my soccer team, and I used to tell my parents, if I can just get them to open the door, I can usually get them to buy something from me. So that's just I've always been very, very determined, very motivated. And I will say, some of my systems and organization, they could use a little bit of work. But at the end of the day, again, if you just put in the work, you can be successful.
So how do you handle then the mental aspect of this, the rejection, the times it doesn't work, the time you think you're getting close to getting a for sale by owner and they either sell it themselves or list with somebody else? How do you handle that end of it so that you can keep pushing?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think mindset and the level of confidence that I have is one of the major elements to my success. I am huge on mindset. I start my day focusing on gratitude, writing down things that I'm grateful for, writing down affirmations. And so I'm used to being told no over and over and over again. But I know that at the end of the day, 5 no's later, I'm going to get a yes. So it's just being consistent and knowing that there is another yes that's out there coming soon.
I mean, did you think you'd do 100 transactions in your second full year in the business during a pandemic? This is a huge deal.
My goal was 40 this year. So no, I did not think that.
That's amazing. Emily, I'm proud of you. Congratulations on what you're doing. Thanks so much for sharing with all of our people. And man, just go, can you get to 125? I think, well, let's get to 125 before the end of the year.
Yeah. And James, I did want to tell people, I do have a Facebook mastermind group specifically for sale by owners. It's called Emily Peckham's FSBO Mastermind Group.
Awesome. They should definitely check that out. And of course, we talked a little bit about Millionaire Real Estate Agent and the systems you're using in that. And I want to invite you and everybody else to join me for the workshop on that September 29th, the MREA workshop. We're going to dive in the book, and it's mreaworkshop.com. Emily, you're amazing. I'm proud of you. Great job. Thanks for sharing with us today.
Thank you, James.